Good morning, viewers. Welcome to another exciting episode of Open House Thursday on Your View. My name is Morayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have my lovely co-host here. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
And what was tickling Auntie that just started with laugh?
I'm sending you.
What happened?
Don't worry, I'll share it later.
Okay.
It's good to see you laugh.
Now, all of you did not wish me happy anniversary yesterday.
Didn't we?
We did
On the show, you didn't.
We did do it live.
Can you imagine these people?
What we only
We did
mentioned
it before
this.
the show and after the show.
Oh, sugar.
Can you imagine that?
Happy anniversary.
No wahala.
9 years, not this one
It's
thing.
not a small thing.
Our senior in the matter.
9 years with the same man?
The same man.
Oh, yes.
I'm so excited, and I bless God
Congratulations.
because yesterday I was in church, and all I could just remember were early days that we started our marriage. And it's not, people just see, oh, you have it all put together, you have it perfect. That's why you're always talking. They don't know the we've been through our own struggles, and I just thank God that 9 years on. Next year is 10 years.
Hey, you're going to Paris for lunch and dinner.
I'm telling you. I love your hair. I must
Thank
comment.
you. Thank
Mario,
Thank
you're not as dumb as you look.
Yeah,
that was the
I'm
word
not,
yesterday.
yes,
I said this one is really.
Yeah, so that's how I
love
get
your hair. You
it.
look
Thank you,
nice.
thank you. My nanny left me yesterday.
Hey,
The wonderful nanny.
Left my two beautiful children.
what happened?
How did you cope?
In fact, just drama. I don't even know. Honestly, I think I'm the best person in the whole world
That's
to
what
work
you
with.
think.
Well, that's what I think. But I don't know, why would you just leave two babies,
Oh, she left them at
Just
home
left them.
and walked away. Who was with them?
I had the help. We went to the market, came back and saw two babies crying, wondering.
Left them alone.
In fact, just abandoned. Well, the children, thank God that the other girl was there, and at least they are safe and they are okay. Thank God for them.
No, but Mariah, it's not about. I at the point when I had like 3 maids back to
How
back
do you just
living,
leave
I
children?
felt that maybe am I doing something wrong? But I realized that a lot of all these people have agenda. It's not about what you're doing. They have the agenda. Maybe
And
they
one of the
save it
major
for the
issues I've
person.
noticed was that I noticed that at night she's always with the kids and they don't let her sleep. So I felt that, okay, maybe these kids are really bothersome at night. I slept with them last night. Till they slept at 10 p.m. to like 7 o'clock this morning. These children were still sleeping. They didn't even wake up to eat. And I'm wondering, so what's the problem? Every single day she's always complaining that she didn't get to sleep. And I'm like, I slept with the kids. They didn't even, I wasn't even guys, now wake up now. They didn't even wake up to eat. So something is wrong somewhere. Anyway, my husband believes it's spirit.
But you really cannot rule out that fact. I don't have a problem with people walking away, because the truth is that I always tell God, whatever is best plan, let it happen. So when I see things like that happen, I know that it is God's plan.
That's what my husband said. You know what? Everything
God's
works
plan.
out for good. So let us just be happy that she left. Anyways, we have a fabulous show for you today because it's Thursday. We'll be gisting about something that is very juicy. But first, we'll take our front page review. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Nima is just telling us that she actually had an accident this morning. You hit somebody.
An accident.
Okay, you hit someone.
I just drove.
Into a presidential convoy.
I don't know what I was thinking, but I've been very, very, very
That's why you're laughing.
this recently.
SSS,
And I hit the car inside the Navy barracks, and the car moved. I reversed and I looked at the plate number, presidency.
Hey, Jehovah. Well, thank God he's the presidency of the people. So they won't be looking after you. You know, there's the presidency of
Well, you don't know where I hit the car. Me, I know what situation I was in, so I just.
All right, let's go through the front pages of the papers. Let's start with the Punch. PDP rejects new INEC boss. Zakari alleges hidden agenda. Appointment followed due process, says presidency. You can see a very, very sad picture here of a little baby. Suicide bombers attack hospital as Oshibajo visits Borno. That's the daughter of Mrs. Aisha Ibrahim. She was a victim of Boko Haram terrorists at the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital. Fayoshe advises Buhari on anti-graft war. Court dismisses application to extradite Kashamu. APC crisis. Buhari meets Gbajabiamila, others. World Bank approves 39.4 billion naira loan for Lagos. Naira drops to 230 against dollar. 253 DSS officials redeployed from Aso Rock. And stop playing politics after elections, Ekweremadu tells APC. Okay, the picture. Obviously, that's the human angle story here. It was really, really, really sad. I mean, even her left arm is burnt up.
You know, sometimes Boko Haram crisis and the bombing might seem a bit vague. When you see a picture like this of an innocent baby, there's nothing this child did to warrant this except being born in the northern part of Nigeria during the time of crisis. And right now, she's deformed for life. Life. Her face can't be the same again. And it is not just whatever religion you're affiliating yourself, whatever crisis you're fighting for. The point is, this is not worth it.
I'm really happy with that visit, because anyhow you look at it, when things like this happen, it is not for our leaders to sit down out from wherever they are and just, you know, make statements like that. Because we've seen so many bombings in the past, so many killings that our leaders did not go to relate. That visit alone, you know, would bring hope to the mother's heart to say, okay, yes, something would definitely be done. No, honestly, even Oshibanjo was saying it now, that when you see this kind of a thing, it will stir something in your heart that you truly want to fight this thing. It's not something to just take with a pinch of salt.
It puts a human face to governance. Yes. You know, not just a vague government issuing a statement from one press secretary.
I will get them.
But this is one-on-one, you know, and the feeling he would have would be totally different from what he had a few days ago before meeting them.
Moving on to The Nation. Okonjo-Iweala must state how $2 billion oil cash was spent. Oshomole accuses ex-minister of toying with figures. Let me read their quotes here. Ex-minister says the opening balance was 4.6 billion in 2011, and it reached a peak, and the following year at 8.7 billion dollars before declining to 2.3 billion dollars in 2013. The balance as at May 2015 is $2 billion. Governor is saying the $2 billion is her last sum, because in her last report, she said we had $4.1 billion, only for her to come now and say we have. Anyway, just tell us how much that extra difference, that $2 billion was spent. That's what Oshomole is saying. Okay. Let me read the remaining other headlines. Bombers strike in Borno, Oshimbajo government to support IDPs. 6 teenagers missing in Lagos Kano accident. And tribunal affirms Ambode's victory. All right, he's talking about the figures.
Yes, I wonder why it is Governor Oshomole is bringing this up. If it is, if indeed we have $2 billion missing, $2 billion missing in our excess crude oil account, then it should be something prosecuted, called up by the Senate, or the Accountant General of the country would address it, not Adam. I don't expect.
But Adam Oshomole is now the person in charge of the committee that the president set up.
I know, and I don't expect it to be a battle on the front page of the newspaper. I believe it's a battle that should be fought with equity, in terms of you give a statement, there's a reply, they produce whatever it is, how the money was spent. Obviously, Okonjo-Iweala didn't pocket that money. It was spent. So let it be addressed in a more proper manner than bantering on the front page.
As much as it makes sense, he didn't go out to give a press release. Unfortunately, he appeared on the TV program and had to address questions, put before him. It wasn't like,
Okay. Vanguard. APC crisis. Buhari heads peace moves. Meets 30-man delegation of aggrieved groups. ACF blasts Akonde. Urges support for Buhari. My statement was misinterpreted, says Akonde. See the same picture of our vice president here with the victim. Explain whereabouts of $4.1 billion. Oshomole tells Okonjo-Iweala. Talked about that already. Lagos gets $200 million World Bank credit. 12 trillion naira debt profile worsens Nigeria's woes. And 12 die as Boko Haram attacks Borno. Why are we taking Lagos? Everybody the article on that.
I read it. The loan was taken to support, surprisingly, they said reforms, that infrastructural, not infrastructural projects, but reforms within the system, and economic reforms, to support economic reforms, stabilizing budget allocation and all that. I guess there's a reason for this, and I feel that I believe Lagos has a good credit profile.
When you hear World Bank loaning money, that's like...
We feel we'll be indebted to them. They can dictate our policies to us. And considering that Lagos is like one of the biggest states richest states in Nigeria, we should cut our coats to the material available. I don't feel we should put our
But
future.
why do we need to take a loan, actually?
Because we already have a
Because
project.
Lagos State generates a lot of internally generated funds. So
Apart
why?
from that,
Cut our
presently
coats.
it's one of the highest indebted states in Nigeria.
Yeah, or something like
One of the
4
highest,
billion.
Lagos, Rivers, and one other state. I think
Highly
Kaduna
indebted.
are highly
Yeah,
indebted. They
another
should
one
have.
again.
I think they should, as much as possible, try to avoid debts right now. They generate enough internally to deal with their issues already compared to other states, and they should do what there should be sufficient.
Because that's a lot of money.
Sufficiently.
Yeah,
lot of
sustaining
money.
that debt and getting new
ones.
Okay, I'm sure the governor has reasons for doing that. Let's move on to Daily Sun. Tragedy hits Lagos. 6 pupils drown. 8 others missing as boat capsizes. And you can see a more gory picture of the little baby. Here we see the left arm actually cut off. Excuse me. North angry with Akonde over comments on APC crisis. Buhari's government stick to rule of law, says Onu. PDP rejects Zachary as INEC acting chair. And Fani Kayode floors EFCC on graft charges. I mean, as I said, this picture is really actually more gruesome than the other one. It's so painful.
I think you should.
And the mother is just staring. She's
zoom
like,
into
the expression on the vice president's face
face.
shows true sensitivity to the issues on ground. I've seen pictures before.
That is not a doctored
expression.
look. It's not a doctored
concern,
This
true
is
that's
concern.
Oshibaja. He's definitely not going to. It's not fake. We know him like that. So, but the point is that
Well,
anyway,
I want to talk about the boat.
they had the capsizing.
In fact, the children were on their way to school, and they were all, in the boat without their life jackets. That's the first thing. They didn't have life jackets, and this fiber jetty was, boat was just, and rammed into them and made them capsize. All of them went underwater. They were able to, rescue 9 of them, but 6 of them till now, the rescue continues according to the report. But 6 of them have not been rescued. Out of the 9 rescues, 4 have been released. The 4 were given first aid and they were allowed to go home. Plus the canoe. Because I was paddling the canoe. The paddler, so that one has gone home too. The issue for me is why? Because I know in Lagos.
Why what?
Why would these children not have their life jacket on? And this is how they go to school. The Ojo area is the water area, and we have a lot of. I live there, and we have a lot of boats and all that, jetties and all that.
How would they have them?
There's no how when you want to take a boat from one of those places to the beaches, to the Beshe beach. There's no how you take a boat. They will give you a life jacket. So when did this one start without putting school children in a boat without life jackets? School children, for that matter.
Outside life jacket, those circular floaters,
When they don't have life jacket,
the life jacket is what the state government has provided. It's even mandatory for
I know that it's mandatory.
boat operator to have it.
No, I'm saying that for the parents, if I know that my child is, even if the child is a good swimmer, anything can happen. Imagine if these normal floaters that we use in the swimming pools, the parents give them to take to school every day. I think for me, it's a measure you can take to protect your own child, since you know that is the only
these are parents that probably can't even afford.
The thing is, it is the job of the government to protect.
And they provided already. We know, like a lot of people. Sometimes these canoe paddlers, sometimes they're not being enforced yet, and some of them actually they give them the money to buy these things, and maybe they just spend it or something like that.
When at every canoe junction, that's where they board. I know it's dirty. There are always government officials that collect money from all the canoe paddlers every day. The same way Agberos collect money. I know that. Now, those people also who remit the money to the local government should be made to enforce the laws. Canoe capsizing is not the first and second time or third time. It happens all the time.
So let me even make this point. This is regular there, and in the beginning, they enforced the wearing of those life jackets. It was compulsory.
Yes, I remember
for you
now.
To cross to Ibeshe, you had to put on a life jacket. It was compulsory. But now, they relaxed on these things and just concern themselves with money.
Is he not anywhere else? Is he nowhere else? Okay.
No, he's nowhere
Fani Kayode was released yesterday.
Yes. Fani Kayode, I watched the clip of him sharing his testimony.
His yellow girlfriend.
His
very yellow girlfriend. Is that his wife?
It's his girlfriend.
His girlfriend, I beg. Very yellow like
this.
Yellow. You are very yellow too. He was obviously sharing a testimony like, I thank God, my God has defended me, my God fought for me through the times of crisis. This has scattered me emotionally and wants to spoil my good name. And while he was saying that statement, the camera, good enough, it was TVC. You see the security men behind him. He had security experts security detail behind him, and he was going for a court case. That he mentioned the fact that the money was 200 million, and it kept going down and going down.
1.1.
My concern here.
What's your concern again?
My concern is that why do we have so many cases getting prosecuted and acquitted without? This wasn't that he was innocent. There wasn't enough evidence to prove it. Do you understand? They didn't have enough.
Let's be fair.
No.
This number came from 200 and something billion to 1 million. To 1 point something million. And this 1 point something million that is being contested. And they couldn't find out.
They couldn't prove. So our prosecutors, what are they doing?
Wait,
are you assuming he's guilty?
No, I'm saying that why would you take a case to court when you don't have enough evidence? You're a lawyer.
Let me finish now.
Okay, sorry.
EFCC prosecuting lawyer was Keyamo. Keyamo came out in the papers every time to say he had facts and evidence. This is where the conspiracy for me comes in. If it is a big man, the prosecution easily fails. They will throw that case out for diligent prosecution, for lack of diligent prosecution, and it will work out. If it was a young guy, Yahoo guy, that case will get to the point of conviction. It's too common. It's too common within our system.
There's a conspiracy theory that says that the judge
is a family friend.
No. It's not. I'm just saying. This is the prosecution most likely intentionally failing.
Anyway,
to
he has lent his victory to the Almighty.
And he has changed his name to Oluwakayode.
No longer Femi Fani-Kayode now. He's now Femi Olukayode.
Yes.
Good for him. I'm happy for him. But going forward, we have too many corrupt people around.
Please, you are suggesting subliminally that he's corrupt. Let us move on to the Guardian, please. I'm happy that you're happy for him.
I'm happy for you that you are.
APC leaders meet to resolve civil war. NEC may spare Odige Oyegum.
Civil war.
Dogara moves to redeem house's image. Okay. Why FHA mortgage bank boss is on suspension by board's chairman. Court told banks building failed government approval in Braithwaite's 10 billion naira suit. And court acquits Fani-Kayode of money laundering charges. You can see pictures here of the leaders of the APC. And our last paper for this morning. Man accused of participating in Chibok girls' abduction arrested. Federal government calls for vigilante as Ebola virus resurfaces in Liberia. PDP rejects Amina Zakari as INEC boss. CBN extends forex curbs to export proceeds. And Fani-Kayode changes his name as court acquits him from. He's now Oluwakayode. Okay.
Let's talk about PDP rejecting Amina Zakari. PDP has come out by their spokesperson Olisamitu to say that the woman is wrong for the position, baseless allegations, of course. According to me, that she's wrong for the positions because right now the tribunals will favor the ruling party because of her appointment.
That she's too close to the presidency.
She's too close to the presidency, but in the hierarchy of appointments, she was appointed by the outgoing president, and in the hierarchy of appointments, she's even higher than Wali.
Yes.
So if the presidency thought to pick, and it was through the Federal Civil Service that this appointment was done, to pick the highest person by order of by hierarchy, she's most qualified for the position. So I don't understand the issues
the question they also raised: why did Jega hand over to Wali?
Yes. That's my question.
Jega could have handed over to anybody within the hierarchy. No, because
was he being a male?
Wali was supposed to be the person that was to retire later than most of the other returning officers. But if in the order of hierarchy she's higher than him, somebody could is a good basis to appoint her.
Well, it's an interim appointment. So
yeah, she's just
So eventually they're going to get the real. Hopefully, we'll know who the person is soon. That's all we can take on Front Page Review. It's time for us to talk about our topic for today. How do we sense when our spouse... No, that's not the question. How do we sense when there's a problem in our marriage? And how do we avert it? Stay with us. We'll be right back. Yes, welcome back. Almost always there are problems that could either make or mar one's marriage. Marriages can bring blessings or can usher strife sometimes and disappointment, anger and depression. Ideally, when trouble arises in marriage, couples should be able to respond to problems before they cause serious damage to the relationship. How do we sense and avert problems in our marriages? Joining us on this show is a marriage counselor, Mr. Sheyi Olawumi. Welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning.
Or should we address you as pastor?
Well, whichever way.
All of the above.
Yeah, all of the above.
All right. So now, the idea is to talk about how do we know. Yeah. One of the major issues we have in marriages is adultery. Yeah. What's the other one? The other money issues, sex issues. Now, how do we sense there's a problem? What are the pointers we need to look out for as married people to know, okay, there's an issue and I need to deal with it?
All right. Well, thank you very much. I mean, it's something worth looking at because marriage is a common phenomenon, something that is common amongst us. It's a global thing. And well, to sense if there are issues coming up in a marriage, there are several pointers. There are 1,000,001 pointers that will not have enough time to exhaust, on this platform. But at least we can mention a few that we believe are common to people. I think the common one, you started from there, talking about the issue of adultery as a major issue in our marriages. I think when one is beginning to think of an extramarital affair, it's a red flag. It's something that is pointing to a problem looming in the marriage because there are 1,000,001 things that leads to a couple thinking of an extramarital affair. But when you look at it, basically sum it up, unhappiness in a home is one of the reasons why people seek extramarital affair. I'm not even talking about getting into it. When you are beginning to consider it, it's a pointer that the marriage could be heading.
Okay, let me rephrase it. Let me throw a different question at you. Yeah. If I find out that my friend, let me call her Linda.
Okay.
And I find Linda's husband cheating. Or maybe I saw Linda's husband staying with one woman and everything. Should I go and report to Linda? Or what should I do? I mean, should I advise her that, hey, your guy is doing this, so what's the way? I mean, well, so help me out. I don't know what I'm talking
I totally support that question because I've been in the situation when I know someone was cheating and I didn't know what to say.
You know, did you see them together in bed?
Okay.
Or you just saw a man and a woman standing?
In a compromising position.
Define compromising.
I saw them in a compromising position and I didn't know how to address my friend. I didn't feel if I should tell my friend or not. But then I watched some movies recently and they made it look like, oh, as a friend, you should let her know because she might be living in ignorance thinking that she's in a blissful marriage when things are actually on the rocks,
So would you advise us to do that kind of thing?
Well, I think the first thing is you need to understand who Linda is. Are there people in Linda's life that Linda refers? I mean, does Linda have a counselor? Depending on maybe Linda's religion, does she have a pastor that she submits to, or does she have an imam or whatever, somebody referred, or what relationship exists between Linda and the family? Because sometimes, in considering this, sometimes you tell the person it might be the best option for you, and sometimes it might be the very worst option, because it might be the lead way to breaking that home entirely. Because you have no idea how Linda will manage the information. That's why the first thing is to understand the type of person Linda is. If Linda is mature enough to manage the situation, if Linda is mature enough then you can discuss with Linda. But if you feel Linda is not mature enough, I think you need to look for a mentor or somebody in that figure in the life of Linda that you can discuss with first.
Okay, I have a different instance. It happened in my own marriage. It wasn't, I had just had this feeling that something was wrong. My husband used to help a lady every morning on his way to work. And I felt, okay, I kept asking who that lady was until he finally introduced her to me, but she didn't, we didn't actually meet. He just pointed her out and said, okay, that's her, she should be on her way now. And then she walks past me. She just looks at me like, a competition.
Hey!
And immediately,
You know that, we know that look.
I don't get sense. I was like, oh boy, I should be careful here. But my husband, you know, I approached him and I decided to talk about it, and he was like, excuse me, I don't even see her that way, you know, the way men feel and all that. But somebody just kept telling me there's a problem with this girl. You need to address this girl. And until I did, he didn't see the problem. Until I confronted her and actually brought out her true self, because she had this innocent look. She was always well behaved when she's with him. In fact, if he's standing close to me, she'll greet me properly and all that. But the moment she'll be like, hey. So until I actually brought it out, until I actually, you know, confronted her about
that's
it.
a red flag. And your husband could be very, very innocent in this case. You know, there are times sincerity is not enough.
I don't believe that.
No. I'm coming here. Sincerity is not enough. People go to jail sincerely. Sincerity is not enough. You know, in the game of life, sometimes you do things sincerely, but you never can tell the mind of the other party. Your husband could be very sincere with this lady, and honestly, just helps on the platform of, I'll drop her off, I'm just doing this to help a fellow human being. But you never can tell what's going on in the mind.
But the Bible told us that we will not be unequally yoked. You know, there sometimes you shouldn't even go close to. Why should any man even be dropping off a woman?
No, you can't. No, that's not a problem. You can.
I don't understand.
You can always help. I
don't
think. You can help. For example, I know my wife drops off someone on her way to the office.
Guy.
Yeah, he's a guy.
Have you checked him out?
No, he's a younger fellow.
It doesn't matter.
But
let me use your example. Let me use your own example. Your wife drops a nice, clean, bespoke-looking, dressed gentleman. You will not be comfortable.
No.
You will not be comfortable.
Let me say something.
Of course, you are okay with that.
That's a mind thing. He's very correct.
No, let me say something to her here. Let me say something to you here. I mean, I'm on the screen and I can say it. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. I'm young, handsome. I mean, looking cute as much as my wife will desire. Okay. I'm never in competition with anybody. So that's it. Number two, it's a mind thing. It's a mind thing. You understand what I'm saying? And then, like I said, your husband could be very innocent, but the lady could have a lot of things. But as a lady, you know things. You understand looks, your husband may not understand. You understand moves, your husband may not understand.
Look, just hold on. I want to say something concerning what Nima just said. What if Nima bringing up that thing, he didn't have anything in his mind, now makes him start looking at her like, oh, she's really beautiful. Oh. Don't you think that Nima bringing it up might actually be, as opposed to maybe she should deal with the lady directly?
Well, I don't think so. I think for Nima's husband, it's good that you brought it up. I think because sometimes you have no idea there's a pit, right ahead of you. But if you see someone who tells you, come on, I sense that, you become more cautious. For me, I don't think that will be a pointer to making him look in that direction. But as it is, this is my honest assertion. If Nima feels that she's not comfortable, you have to cut off that relationship. You have to stop it at all costs.
Let me say my own, because the one that happened is not. This lady kept on going after my husband. I always say something that for marriages, you would, as a woman that is sensitive, you would know when something wants to happen.
Sure.
Because God has already given us that inner intuition inside of us.
Yeah.
So you cannot say that you see a red flag. I will tell that man. If he starts to look at her in that light, I will also know. Because something similar happened in my marriage. And this woman, I honestly, in my innocence, I just let her be. You know, until something started telling me that, come, why are you doing this one? When I started going close to my husband, anytime she's around, there was a day she was literally all like jellyfish shaking. I say, wait. On top of what? Do you understand? And that day, when I said it, and I told my husband that, did you see the way this person reacted? He said, he's noticed it all. Now, what was the problem? I said, it's the fact that I'm inside the car. You know, she couldn't even wait till we got to the place where we're going to. She stormed out of the car when we were on red light. I say, it's a serious matter. So for me now, when you have situations like that, some people take it and they just go and they start shouting at the man. Do you understand? When you start confronting the man and you're fighting that, oh, you have this thing, that is when that man will now decide to say, okay, yes, I will show you.
Let me pause you for one. But wouldn't they say that your business really is with the man, not the girl. So you should confront the man, not the lady.
Yes, I did not talk to the lady. Me, I don't have any problem with that.
You don't necessarily have to be confrontational about it. Because at this point, she's just a suspect. You have an intuition, something tells you, I can read the mind of this lady. Her body language tells me she's up to something. I think at that point, this
one you're saying that you don't have to be confrontational. It's not everybody that has that.
I mean, with your husband.
That's what I'm saying now. It's not everybody that would. So this is what has been going on under my nose, and I've been keeping quiet. So you want to express yourself.
I'm a man. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this from the view of a man. If you sense that, and then you tell a reasonable man, well, this is what I feel. This lady, blah 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 blah. Then the man's reaction will go a long way to tell you a lot of things. If my wife calls me and says, hey, this lady that is close to you, I'm not comfortable because I feel this. Oh, really? I've never seen it that way. Okay, I know what to do. I think you understand. But if I spark up a reaction, why? What's your problem? Am I a baby? Why will you tell me? Is it that then?
Okay, that is a real.
Then can also give you a red flag that I think this man could be in the film already.
As therefore,
he
has eaten the already.
It's not all the time you have to confront it. Because in my own marriage, fortunately, I have a lot of trust. We have an understanding.
Yeah.
I know my husband very well. I knew he wasn't the problem. But I knew this lady, if she continues with her sneaky attitude, she might just get into his heart.
Okay, our callers, you can call us on 070-8066-8014. We'd like to hear from you. You can also tweet to us at YourViewTVC. Any tweets yet? Okay, Tokwe had a question for us.
I want to ask that in a situation where both man and woman, the husband and the wife, live very busy lives, and the man plans to cheat, he's already cheating. The woman is too busy. I don't know if he's picking somebody from work. They are doing meetings late into the night. They have like retreat sessions.
She's not aware.
How does she now, should she snoop? Because we discussed last week about whether you should check the phones, check the mails, monitor what she's doing. How can she now sense when something is going wrong?
Well, I think that's a very sensitive question here. But at the same time, you are women, you've been married for a while. There is no way a man goes into an extramarital affair. You know, the same intuition that helps you to have an understanding if something is coming close is also there as a check, you know, to help you understand the makeup of your man in a marriage. Now, there's no way a man goes into an extramarital affair with another person that the woman will not know, because a few things must change. It's a must.
What are the things that
For example, let me take
this question first. Adewale, are you there?
Good morning, Morayo.
Good morning, please go ahead.
I think Morayo and Uwa, both of you in our body to the hot this time around. And I want to ask the man in the middle, I want to ask him a question.
Go ahead, sir.
Experience, because the way you talk about your wife is dropping someone at work, or something like that. My younger brother, he have a lady, the young lady. The lady is married to someone, and they are going to the same school together. Anytime they are doing the exam, they used to call each other to meet at social place and go to school together. And I discovered that about a month ago, both of them started talking on phone. On one night around 9 p.m., my brother now said, "Are you serious? Are you serious?" The brother now went out of our room, just go outside, go and receive the call. They didn't say anything. About 2 weeks later, now tell me that, do you know the lady that we are going to school? I said, I know her. He said the lady is telling him that started falling in love with my brother.
Okay.
And I say, is she married? He said yes. She's married. Her husband always go out in the morning and come back and they late at night. I wanted to ask you, what do you think is wrong with that marriage? Making that a young lady falling in love with another young man outside. Thank you.
Okay. Oh,
simple. Yeah, it's done. Like, what makes the young lady to fall in love? Because I think it's, we were talking last week, and we said that the reason why a man will go outside is because the man, I mean, if he's not getting that companionship, human beings tend towards where they will feel loved, they will feel special, they'll feel this. Apparently, she's going to with this young man every day. They are talking every day on the phone. This is the communication that the husband has refused to leave his work. You say you're so busy, you cannot even pick your phone during work hours just to call her to tell her you love her. You know, you can't even love her.
It's not even about that.
I mean, you can't call her. So why would she fall in love?
We're still going back to your question. Even the little time they have together, how much of communication do they have as husband and wife? Because these are some other pointers. You know, when a man starts an extramarital affair, a lot of emotional energy, you know, the emotional energy into the marriage is dissipated in several directions, and it shows. It shows in your communication. It shows in. Sometimes you have to ask yourself, because when a man is not even eating your food anyway, it's not a blessing. It's not a blessing to a woman. Hey, so, well, my husband doesn't give me issues. By the time he comes back, he says, I'm okay, I'm good. It's not a blessing to you. So those are some of the things you start looking at. And then when a man, starts an extramarital, I tell you, there's no man who has an extramarital affair that tells a woman, don't call me at home. Don't call me this. At a point, a woman gets so jealous, of what is not hers, that she still wants to intrude. She still feels, I have a right to call you. I have a right to do this.
Let me take this call from God's Power, Ikeja. Good morning, God's Power. Are you there?
Yeah, morning. How are you doing today?
Very well. Please go ahead.
Yeah, this is my first time of calling. Trying your line for all these why it's not good. Well, the issue you people are discussing about there is a sensitive issue. Because marriage is something that God ordained and is a building block of society. And if it is not properly handled, whatever affect the marriage affect the society. Yeah, on the issue, what the most important thing in a marriage is trust. But I normally say that where there is no trust, there is no love. And where there is no love, there is no trust. If your wife is dropping somebody, maybe giving a lift, you, the husband, you trust your wife.
That's right.
And if you suspect a steady move, because the woman may be doing it innocently, and the guy may be having something in mind. So as a man, if you discover that, that this guy is having something or he's moved, you have the right to call your wife and say, I want you to stop dropping this woman, this man. Then on the issue of the man's side, the man of God said something about being confrontational or not being confrontational. The best way to deal with such issue in marriage is to discuss it with love, not being confrontational. Because let me tell you something about men. When God created a man, he gave him an ego. And if you bruise that ego, the man can be something else. Can you, as a woman, maybe you discover something from your husband and you want to rise or this, the man will not take it. He will not take it. But if you calm down and discuss with the man, honey, this is what I'm discussing, this is what I'm discussing. All right. Or what
the ego thing, I didn't read it in the Bible. Honestly, I always say, I have no, people just think, we have natural egos.
It's an inborn thing for men.
Really? Where did you see it? Did they write in biology class or where did they teach you that?
Well, some men, we were just born with it.
I want to say something. You see, I do not, when people say somebody drops you off at work, it drops you off at home, see, there's no innocent mind in the matter. You cannot spend you can't spend time alone in the car with someone consistently every day, 5 days a week, back to back, and emotions will not grow. That's a lie. Yes, me, I cannot support my husband carrying a woman, clear mind, no clear mind, pastor's wife or nothing, because emotions will grow. I've been there. Emotions will grow.
Let me say this to you. If you feel you can't, you are very correct. Why? Because you know yourself. You know what you feel comfortable with. So there is no rule to saying you have to. So you can and tell, no, my husband, I do not want this.
Let him finish. I want him to go.
Yeah, I do not want this. And I also know there is a rule. Who you spend time with, you fall in love with. No.
Yes.
No. You see, one of the basic definition of love for a woman is time.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's time.
The connection in the car every day.
It's time. No.
I'm not giving him a fever.
I have not.
I'll come to you. Wait, I'll let you share. Let me take this call from Stephen. Stephen from Ilasa Maja. Are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Cyril.
Good morning.
Good morning, Cyril. How are you?
I'm fine.
Please go ahead. Sorry?
Steven by name. I'm a first time caller. Please.
Yeah.
I want to borrow one word I learned last and the last time.
Okay.
We are meant to know one that a man that is cheating, the wife will do what? Take good care of the man, even as at the day he cheated. You give the man very good food, he eats and did not complain, but he may not know that he said that day. But after the day he did not eat and you are suspecting something, that destroys marriage. Now, I want to take it from what the pastor in your midst said. Now, when your wife is doing what? Is cheating on you and you observe it, the best thing you need to do is to what? Call one another, because in marriage, the best thing we are taught for trust. Learn how to trust each other at all times. Even though something goes wrong, like one of the scholars said, you call the person in order, in love, to discuss that. That's my lesson.
Okay. All right. Nima.
There's a thin line between jealousy and common sense. Okay. Now, prior to my driving down here, my husband used to drop me halfway every morning, and there's this kind of a communication we shared those days that I missed whenever I'm driving to work alone. So I usually tell him when he's going to work that we've not even been talking, we are no longer as close, because when we get home, it's whether one child or one person is cooking or one other person comes late and we're all tired. But because of that, I will now build this, maybe he's not helping, he's dropping somebody else. I will now build that jealousy for whoever is dropping. Then there should be that thin line. There should be, there's this line of common sense. If you need companionship, maybe just someone to gist to it is different. So don't let the jealousy thing start to grow.
I'll clarify something. You must, as every married woman must fight for a me time with your husband. I used to experience that. So when I was coming to the office, he drops me off, we gist, do complete gisting. Now, once I'm going to the car, I drag him. He cannot sleep. I drag him and he escorts me every day since I've been driving to the office. My husband escorts me to the car every day. What's that? That's our own me time. You cannot afford to let go of, because they will have that time. So somebody else is occupying the time. Please, can you buttress what I'm saying?
I think the time spent in the car or dropping you off in the office, it's not the whole time. You need to make a marriage work. It's important, but I don't know how long you spend in the traffic getting to the office. But I believe that even if I have to take 30, 45 minutes dropping my wife off in the office, honestly, every family must create that time, that bonding time.
No, there's no time.
No,
you go to work in the morning, you come back to 10, you are tired, you want to sleep.
You must find that time. Can I give you an example? I got home last Thursday, and I got home 11 p.m. It was that late. From 11 p.m. to 1 a.m., I was in a chat with my wife. We're having nice time.
Oh, yeah, somebody have slept.
Yeah.
1 a.m. You see, that's because you don't have to wake up early to take off the kids.
No. What I'm saying here is that that's for me. You also must find a time. It doesn't have to be. Okay, that's fine. It doesn't have to be.
Let me take this call from Yakub, then we'll take some tweets. Yakubu, how you doing?
I'm fine.
Ekongbe.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, please, I just need advice to one of my friends, very close friend of mine. And then I know the man in the middle can do the justice to that. The question, the advice is this. I have a friend, it's a safe friend. And then the guy came to my office. He told me some kind of story. He went to one of our friend's house. And then that very particular day, the wife of our friend, he cooked for them. Both of them eat the dish together. The following day, the guy go on the normal spelling as a safe friend. And then he went to a sport place that's very, very far to their area. It happened to be, maybe the guy was in take, and then he entered hotel to just have some kind of drink. What really happened that very particular day, our friend's wife, that very particular man that came down from upstairs with another man, and then he got to meet our friend in the reception drinking. And then both of them, they met together and then they agreed. And then immediately left, he gave a call, he called me, said, Alaji, I saw so, this is the person I saw. And then the guy, the one even greeted me. What I do? I said, please come down to my office. When he came down, I said, please, just keep silent. Up to this moment, we don't know what to do. And then we just keep silent. We are looking. Immediately, anytime we go to our friend's house, the woman will be checking. seriously shaking. I said, up to now, you don't tell our friend anything. I need advice.
All right, thank
That's
you.
the first question.
Yeah.
He said that a mutual friend of theirs, somebody caught the woman's
bottom
wife
line,
at
she was
in the
coming down
hotel,
from
from
the
the hotel
hotel
room.
And
She greeted, so they know that all of them know. Both the
So what
wife,
should they
and
do?
whenever they go to the house, the woman is visibly shaking. They haven't told the husband yet that they caught the woman cheating. They don't know what
But
to
they
do.
didn't catch her cheating. All they did was catch her coming down the staircase. You can't
That's
assume.
That's
You can't. That's the wrong assumption.
the reaction later of the shivering reaction.
How do you not read shivering as her being? No, you can't read it like that now.
as a housewife, what was she coming on?
Aside the
hotel
shivering,
Is that an office
aside
meeting?
the
Please,
shivering
that's too much
reaction.
That's
Nollywood
an
movie.
office meeting.
That's too much Nollywood movie for you. That woman could have gone for a meeting upstairs to give you an
the hotel room.
inspect something
Sorry,
upstairs.
except no. I don't want us to take this lightly. A married woman coming down the stairs of an hotel room with a man, that's not a place for a business meeting. I guess that's not a place where we have an idea of what must have transpired before. No. Now let me tell you this. Please, women, don't be careless. Safeguard yourself. As a woman, somebody says,
Meet me up.
meet me up in this hotel for a meeting. Honestly, it's nothing wrong to call your husband. Of course, your husband should have an idea of the business meeting anyway that has gotten you that far to meet you. To say, honey, he's saying that this is where we should meet for. Because you just never can tell.
Okay, can I pause for a second?
Disclosure.
You go to somewhere like maybe one of those hotels where on the second floor they have a conference room. So you are in the lobby. You're not seeing them coming down from the second floor. They're coming. So you don't know they're coming from the conference room when they had a meeting. You don't know that. So the point is that you can't just assume she was cheating.
That's why I said disclosure. Like you said,
happened
it's
to me
very,
yesterday.
very important.
My husband came back. No, I called him in the very late in the evening, and I said, "How are you doing?" He said, "What do you go do for CMD?" I was wondering, what are you two doing in CMD? Guess what? I was pressed. I rushed into CMD, rushed into the hotel to ease myself, and came outside. And my husband got a call that I was there.
Okay.
Now, for me, I don't feel bad about it. I feel it's good that he knows. That is why I'm of the opinion that you should tell your friend, but tell it as it is. I saw your wife walking down the staircase in an hotel with a man. I'm just letting you know. Don't say, I saw your wife cheating.
You see, Tokwe, let me give you your own life as an example. Somebody will catch you and somebody else's husband going to the movies. What would they think?
Oh, okay.
Doesn't that happen? Don't you go and hang out with somebody else's husband?
And I always say
No,
that.
wait. When I'm going, my husband knows.
When are we going to the movies again?
Okay.
You are another person.
husband
Oga, address that
My
matter.
husband knows about it.
If he knows,
Yes.
is comfortable with the man, is comfortable with it, well, that becomes no. That becomes because I think it will be
There's
more
no
it will be hazardous.
Because
you give what you
eventually,
expect back. Let me tell you something. Recently, every day I carry a Navy officer on my way to work every morning just to take him, drop it at my two. He's going to Apapa to the base, and at one point he just said to me, "Madam, you helped me yesterday. Thank you again, helping me today." My husband, I always tell him, I don't get a Navy friend. I gave him my number at one point because he asked for it without thinking about it, and then he made it calling me an habit. I won't condone it if it was my husband. And immediately I noticed that my brother-in-law was with me when I was like, this man is calling me, I have to put a stop to this thing. Immediately I put a stop to it not because he has offended me or anything, but because this is what I want back from my husband. This is the kind of way I want to be treated. I won't treat him like that. If my husband, I have a meeting with anybody anywhere, I put meetings in public places where it is open. So that even if somebody sees me and is telling my husband to not bring issues, now if I have to hold a meeting in a compromising situation, I will go there with a third party. Disclosure, being transparent is the solution. I cannot let suspicion be flying around in my marriage.
But should you tell your husband?
If they tell my husband, the person that is telling me,
tell your friend.
Yeah, we are back
No,
up.
you can't tell.
You can't just be going anywhere. You're not going like that.
you're not taking any tweets, so
Can I say something?
You
You
tell.
cannot let me to say.
you're not the one talking. You're not talking.
I have
now.
a problem with a man, your phone rings and you get up and you go to somewhere else to pick up that call.
Yeah.
You understand? I know someone very close to me and the person does that all the time. And I'm wondering why, all the time he's always taking that call.
Somebody called me last week. I said her husband will pick up a phone and put you under the pillow. Won't let her have access to it. We just want
To your question, those are some of the pointers. Skipping another thing has to do with sex, because once you start keeping an extramarital affair as a man,
It will drop in the
it will
house.
drop in there. It will affect. You see, I mean, it will affect you. It will affect you. So once there is a drop in each sex drive, you should.
Okay, there's something I want to ask you, but I don't know if it's too sensitive. Let's take to it.
Yemi Gold says, okay, sorry.
Patrick Bliss says, communication is sacrosanct. Once you realize a breakdown and it drags longer than necessary, get to work and bridge the gap.
Olu Kayode Salako says, trouble starts when the woman starts manifesting masculine and domineering tendencies over the man in marriage. Yemi Gold says, well, for me, once I found out about her, then we'll back out of the relationship because I hate cheating. Mayo says, in marriage, appreciate your wife, and women appreciate your husband as they need love too, and it's not always their fault. Mary Honor says, a lot of things that are bad takes place in the hotel, referring to that. Then Paul Martin says, social media has also contributed a lot of marital issues. Most women cheat unconsciously with their chats with either
let me
exes.
because I got a call yesterday. I mean, last week, because we talked about the phone thing last week. A lot of people called me yesterday. Somebody said that she's suspecting. Do you know what wanking is? No. She feels that her husband is always prefers to wank than stay with her. Let me use that English. So and she feels that she's cheating, and she feels that that's cheating.
That's cheating now.
Well, let's say that some things are psychologically, spiritually resolved.
Yes.
Once you notice that, in fact, there are things in marriage you can't handle on yourself. That's why you need the service of a professional counselor. You need somebody to come. I've appeared on the Labi show, I mean, a couple of times talking about marriage, and I've had a lot of referrals, people who've come to us, and we've been able to come in and resolve a few things. Sometimes you need professional help. You need a psychologist. You need somebody to help you. You know. Sometimes it's an obsession. You just can't get out of it except there's a third-party help. Yeah.
On that note, we end our program. I think, yes, communication.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir, for coming. We appreciate you being here. Don't worry, we'll still continue more just next week, Thursday. But have a lovely day. You don't forget, by Monday, we're going to start showing Your View repeats at 9 p.m. So you don't have to wake up and people complaining, oh, you didn't let me sleep, you don't let us sleep. But from now, by God's grace, next week, we'll start showing at 9 p.m. so that more people can watch the show. We had a fantastic show. You can also watch us online by going to YouTube/TV Entertainment, search for Your View. You can also catch it on Google Plus at TVC Entertainment. Bye-bye for now. See you tomorrow.